Hey guys, I got a pretty cool video for you. My coworker mentioned that he had some bees move into a kind of play place that he has in his backyard. So my wife and I offered to take them off of his hands and remove them. But the problem is they're behind this wall. We can hear the hive all the way over here to somewhere all the way over here. But we're going to start off with just this half, just to see how that goes and see if we can figure out if there's any more bees beyond that. But we're going to be drilling a hole using a jigsaw, cutting a nice square around here, and then using a shop vac with a special 5-gallon bucket that my wife made that we can vacuum the bees into hopefully without damaging them. It's got a nice hole on top here that you can control the amount of suction that goes from the shop vac over to where you're sucking in the bees. We've got our smoker and a bunch of equipment up here with us. We've got some frames in a deep super that we wrap some rubber bands around on. Hopefully we can slice up the honeycomb that's going to be in this wall and place it within these rubber bands, and then put the bees back in the box, and then hopefully they will reattach the honeycomb to these frames, and then we'll have some naturally made frames by these bees. Alright, I hope you guys are excited. We're really excited, pretty nervous. We've never done this before, so this is definitely going to be a learning process for us, and I'm glad we could learn with you guys.
See anything?
I don't see anything yet. No angry bees. Okay, I'm going to take the jigsaw and make a small circle, and then you're going to smoke it, okay?
Okay.
Wow.
Nothing?
No bees. I'm amazed that they are not immediately right there. We could hear them very directly.
You think there's something like right here?
There's probably a 2x4 going across or something in the middle here. So we're going to have to go down until we run into that 2x4. I'm just going to curve over here and go down until I hit whatever this is. There might be a 2x4 separating this that we couldn't see. Looks like there is a 2x4 something right here. That's unfortunate that we cut this open unnecessarily. I think I'm just going to leave it right here, do a new hole over here. Woo! And there is honey.
Oh, you got some? You want
got
smoke?
honey. I'm going to cut a little hole, and then yeah, we're going to do smoke.
Okay.
Couple of bees. Good. We've got the comb, looks like it's going this direction of some sort, which is good.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Okay, you get ready with the vacuum. Ow, it's hot.
Yeah, sorry. Careful, it's shooting flames. It's too hot. Be really gentle with it.
So I'm doing all this smoke to really make sure that they can't notice
Tell
us.
me when to turn it on.
I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to do, I have to do a cut first.
Okay, let's put the smoker back down.
Yeah, take the smoker.
Do you want the bee vac to be turned on?
Yes, turn that on so it's ready to go.
Okay, and it's
Alright, it's going to be loud. You probably will hear us. What? Oh, okay.
I already smoked it.
Okay. Vacuum them up. Cover it. Cover it. I'm getting them. Let's take this in for a close-up. They have an enormous hive. That's big. I'm going to start cutting with this. I'll try. It's really hard. difficult to get this into. I know. Vacuum that. Yeah. That's not going to work. It's so soft. It's just falling apart. It's so... You cut the vacuum off and dump all this. You can try that. You can freeze it in a bucket. Okay? Unfortunately, the hose we were using was so large that it was quite difficult to suck up the bees. We ended up scraping the comb pretty badly, and the bees were very good at holding onto the comb, which is one thing we anticipated. I wish we'd used a smaller nozzle to suck up the bees. It would have worked a little bit better. I think we ended up damaging about 20% of the bees that we had vacuumed up because of the method that we had to vacuum them up with. That was definitely a mistake we'd made. The bees were surprisingly calm throughout this whole ordeal. I only got stung twice by them. My wife didn't get stung at all. They were pretty cooperative without attacking us. It was very surprising. So these were obviously bees from an apiary, and they were domesticated by people. It's doing very well cooking around here. It's vacuuming this up. The vacuuming system that my wife created actually worked really well with us being able to control the suction of the hose to prevent damaging of the bees, though we usually ended up using it on pretty much full blast. Some of the comb was actually harder than others, so this one you can actually see that the comb is sticking pretty well to the frame without bending out. I used a lot more rubber bands than I thought. I would recommend probably 8 or more per frame. It's fairly big. Got this next frame. It's alright. Got another frame. So we got most of the comb removed. I got better and better at putting into the frames by the end. It sounds kind of obvious, but I recommend putting it onto the frame, onto the comb, and then cutting the comb. Towards the end I had a much tighter fit. Here I am cleaning up a lot of the honeycomb that's sticking up to the side of the wood that we were unable to extract. In a minute it becomes pretty much like something from Winnie the Pooh. There's just honey dripping everywhere. So if you almost figured out that it actually nose ones up. Look at all of that. There's a lot of bees in it, but there's so many bees. It's just gushing.
Entrance.
Okay, so we got
Oh my gosh, that's so many bees.
this cleaned out a lot. Got a bee buzzing right near my ear. It's pretty scary.
Oh my gosh, it hurts.
Let me show you a close-up on this hive. The area was filled. Touching my tripod only. Sorry, it's not the best. There we go, a little bit better. It was huge, and it goes up about 1/2 inch to the left and the right. Down a little bit. Pretty bad. And we tried to be as nice as we could, but the way that the comb was shaped and how warm it was it just did not facilitate keeping any of the comb, so we saved what we could, but very little of it was we were able to keep. We got about 5 frames, which is about half the frame filled, 2/3 the frame filled. We're going to go home, take care of the bees we currently have, and then
come back and clean up.
Did you seal that? Oh, you sealed that one.
This one has a thing inside to keep the bees.
So we're going to go home, put these bees in their box that we have for them with the frames, and then we don't think we got the queen. We're not sure. She could be anywhere. We couldn't really see her. What else? And then we're going to come back and we're going to try to clean the rest of this up. Help them, probably have to tear out the carpet. It's just soaked in honey. I don't even know if we laid a tarp down if we could have made much of a difference. It was just everywhere. Alright, we're going to take these bees home. Alright, this is the entrance to the hive. You can see there's quite a few bees. Very concerned about what's going on. We're going to have to come back and clean all this up. We're going to deal with the bees that we got right now though.
You're going to try to dump it in that hole?
Yep. Ready?
What do you want me to do?
Let's go smack it and then we'll tip it over.
Okay, so you want
grab
me
the
to
lid,
stand
okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Like that. They're a little bit more feisty than they were before.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of bees. We're good.
That's a good amount of bees. Maybe, I'm betting about 2 pounds worth of bees.
It's not the best package size, but they've got brood.
Alright, we just dumped our bees in here. We've got brood and honey in there. About 5 frames, maybe about half or to 2/3 full of comb. On those 5, we left about 2 slots open, no frames, to dump the bees into. Looks like they're beating their wings a bit. Some of them are just flying right out. We'll see if they take up residence here. They may not. But I think this box is plenty big enough for them right now. We took one of the mostly full frames from one of our existing and strong hives and moved it into this one. It had probably about 40 or 50 eggs laid in it, fresh eggs. We even saw the queen on the frame and we moved her onto a different frame, so we were certain that the queen wasn't on the frame. It was mostly honey and some larvae and a few capped brood. We put them in this hive so that they can give these a boost and hopefully these guys can make their own queen. We had a bunch of honey and stuff that you may have noticed in that video. We melted a lot of the comb down and extracted some honey that way through a wire screen, and it really didn't work very well. The honey was very dirty and smelled a little bit off. I think it could be that there were so many bees in the honey and larvae and things like that. Because they were a fairly wild hive, they hadn't really, we didn't have these separate honey supers and things like that, so the queen had been laying all over the place, and so the honey smelled a little bit off and it was a bit too watery anyways. So what we did was take one of our in-hive feeders and fill it with that honey. So they've actually got probably, I'd say, 60 to 80% of their original honey from their previous hive in there with them in the bucket feeder to hopefully facilitate them building up their comb and setting the frames that we transported over to here, transplanted into here. This hive, surprisingly, it seems to have a bunch of black bees versus the normally more yellowy golden bees that our other hives are. But since they're probably going to use the eggs from one of our existing hives, the one we transplanted it from, to make their queen, they're probably going to slowly become the yellowish bees that are from the other hive. My wife and I don't think we're going to get any honey from this hive, but hopefully they'll make it through to next year, and then they can have, we'll have a 4th hive for next year, so that'll be pretty good. Well, thanks for watching. This has been a pretty interesting experiment for us. We've never done anything like this, and I'll keep you updated on any changes. Please remember to like and subscribe.